So, welcome back to another episode of Reboot. And before we dive into this video, I'm going to apologize for whatever it is that's growing on the end of my nose. I woke up with it the other day and it seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've obviously stuck my nose somewhere it shouldn't, it doesn't belong. And also thank you for all of the additional subscribes to the channel. I still don't really understand how YouTube works. 1 minute the channel is steadily growing, and then the next minute the subscriber count goes through the roof. But I am thoroughly appreciative of all of the new subscriptions. So this video is a little bit different, and this video is something I'm quite excited about, because I'm very aware it's usually just me talking to you and sharing my thoughts and opinions. So at the end of the last video, I encouraged subscribers to share their stories so we could learn from their lived experience. And I'm very fortunate to have received two such stories, one from Trevor and the other from Single in Phnom Penh. So we'll read out those stories on this video, and I'd encourage you to share your thoughts, your observations, any comments in the comments box below. And if you have a story that you'd like to share, or just share your experience of moving to Cambodia, what you've learnt, what's happened to you. That could be accommodation, it could be relationships, it could be challenges, it could be things that you've really enjoyed about living here. And then I'll read them out on the channel. So I'm going to read two today, and I hope you enjoy. So I've got my laptop, so I'm going to read the submissions, read the stories to you directly from here. The first I've picked out is from Single in Phnom Penh, and that did cause a bit of friction when it popped up on my phone. My partner thought I was up to no good. but here's the post. So it says, "Hey Ben, thanks for opening up the channel to stories like this. I've really appreciated the way you've been talking about Cambodia lately. I've been living in Phnom Penh for close to a year now, and your latest video really got me thinking. It's been a wild ride, definitely not always easy, but I wouldn't trade the experience for anything. I came here from Seattle. Back home, everything felt like a race. Work, rent, traffic, even just grocery shopping. I was constantly exhausted and chasing things I didn't really want anymore." That sounds familiar. "Moving to Cambodia wasn't about running away, it was about starting fresh, somewhere that didn't feel so heavy all the time." Again, that sounds very familiar. "I needed a place where life didn't move at breakneck speed, and Phnom Penh gave me that. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it, there have been challenges. A few months in, my motorbike was stolen from right outside my building. I'm sorry about that. It was a gut punch. Filing a police report turned into a mess of confusion and dead ends. Honestly, I gave up trying to recover it. It was frustrating, but it was also a wake-up call. Things work differently here, and you have to adjust your expectations. And then there was my landlord. At first, super nice. But the minute I needed a repair, I'm talking basic stuff like water pressure, it turned into a constant back and forth. I've learned you have to stay on top of things or they just don't get done. It's part of the learning curve, I guess. I live near one of the canals," I know where this is going, "which honestly is kind of charming during the day, but at night or during heavy rains, the smells can hit hard. Sometimes I joke that it builds character. You just learn to laugh about it. And I'll be honest, as a single woman, I don't really feel comfortable walking near the riverside area at night. There's definitely a shift in the vibe after dark. I've had a couple of weird encounters, nothing terrible, but enough to keep me cautious. It hasn't scared me off, it's just one of those things you learn to navigate. That said, and this is the big thing, I still absolutely love it here. There's a sense of community I've never experienced. The guy who sells me mangoes knows my name. My neighbour's kid waves at me every morning. And when I got sick last month, the woman at my favourite noodle stand brought me soup. Oh, that's nice. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. That kind of thing matters. I've slowed down. I've spent more time outside. I eat better. I need to eat better. I've slept better. I don't feel like I have to prove anything to anyone. I finally feel like I'm living with life instead of against it. Yeah, it's not perfect. Nothing is. But the balance here between freedom and reality, challenge and reward, it works for me. Cambodia is not just a cheaper version of home, it's something different entirely, and it's helped me become someone I actually like being. Again, that's very familiar. Appreciate the chance to share. Hopefully this helps someone out there figure out if this life might be for them too. Take care, single in Phnom Penh. So that's the first letter, and yeah, a lot of life lessons there and similar experiences that I guess many of us have had. So if you have any response for single in Phnom Penh, feel free to share in the comments box below. And now for the second submission, which has come in from Trevor, who I think is right here in Siem Reap. And Trevor says, "Hi Ben, I seldom comment on videos, but I have found yours to be structured in a way that has a more personal tone to them, which appeals to me." Thank you, Trevor. I'm a retired 79-year-old Aussie who came to realise far too late in life that I could not afford to spend my retirement in my homeland due to my inability to finance same during my working life. My bad. I live quite comfortably here on my aged pension. I didn't really want to travel any further afield than Southeast Asia, so I settled on Cambodia. I volunteered in Siem Reap for 5 years until COVID struck, so I decided then to hang up my boots permanently. I did find it a bit uneasy here in the early days, with kids telling you that you had tom-tom ears and nose, asking your name, checking out the hair you had on your arms and legs. So funny now, though, when I look back. Rightly or wrongly, I did take the decision to not learn Khmer simply because I didn't have the energy to involve myself in another challenge. A major difference I found was the respect shown here for the elderly, local or foreigner, compared to Oz. I bicycle a lot around and outside of town, and you soon learn that you are at the bottom of the ladder regarding any road rules. And Trevor, I had a similar experience this week. I had a motorbike go into the back of our small car, and somehow it ended up being my fault. So Trevor goes on, I've been back 3 times to Oz in my 10+ years here, and each time within a few days I think to myself, what the am I doing here? So many stories to tell about the local people, some good, some not so, but I've always been welcomed into a stranger's house with a smile and some food, whether they could afford it or not. And I think that's an experience that many of us share and is deeply humbling. It is the little kids that captivate your hearts. I pass them when they are going to school, some with their bags almost as big as themselves, and they have the biggest smiles. That is not a sight you see in Oz. I have learned that if you're going to give over any of your hard-earned, treat it as a donation, less likely to be disappointed. Overall, a great experience here for an old fella. If I was to offer any advice to anyone thinking of overseas travel to a country like Cambodia, it would be to leave all your preconceived ideas at home. Come with an open mind and a willingness to accept the local culture as you find it, and above all, show respect. Cheers, mate, Trevor. Thank you, Trevor, for sending in by email your story. And again, I really appreciate the insight that you've given and your thoughts on life in Cambodia. And as ever, if you have any comments or anything you'd like to share with Trevor, please drop it in the comments box below. So that's it for this video and the 2 stories that I had to share. Really grateful for both single in Phnom Penh and Trevor for sending those in. And please, I'd love to receive your stories, your thoughts, your lived experiences of Cambodia, so that I can broaden the voice or the experiences that we're sharing here on the channel. And again, if you can drop your stories, your submissions on either the email address or through the website. And I'd love to send you a mug, reboot mug, and I'll be in touch with you, Single and Trevor, to arrange getting those sent out. And Trevor, if you are local, I'd love to fill it up for you as well. So until next time, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I really enjoyed this video.